Okay, it says that we're live, so I'm going to wait and see if I can see people coming up here on our Facebook page. I hope I start to see some people, or Lindsay Dryden will be here with us today, and hopefully she tells us that we've gone live. I would love that, Lindsay, if you let me know. Just waiting a little bit here to get verification. Sharon Thornton here with FreeSpirit Fabrics. We are here this week with Richele Christensen from California Art Girl. And we are going to talk Tim Holtz this week. So we're very excited about this. Lindsay sees us, so we are live. So that's great. Thank you for letting me know. So again, welcome everybody. I'm Sharon Thornton. I am here with FreeSpirit Fabrics. This is our weekly Inspired By series. We are here this week with Richele Christensen. She is the California Art Girl. She has a blog and she works with Tim Holtz fabrics beautifully. If anybody understands Tim Holtz, it's Richele. She's been working with Tim for a long time, and we're really excited to have her with us this week. So we'd like to ask all of our viewers if you could say hello to us, let us know where you're tuning in from, give us thumbs up, give us hearts, send us questions. I'll be looking to see any of the questions, and I'll ask Richele questions as I see them come up. So I'll talk over as Richele is showing us. She has a lot to show us, which we're very excited about. Again, it's going to be all Tim Holtz this week. Very excited to see this. I'd like to tell you the quilt behind me. The name of this quilt is the Hyde Park quilt, and this is in one of Tim's new collections. It's called Abandoned 1, and it is shipping to quilt shops starting in October, which is October 1st is today. So this month it will start shipping to quilt shops. These darker colors here are Abandoned 1, and this lighter color in the background is from Tim Holtz Foundation SKUs. So it's a fantastic quilt displaying, everything that's Tim. I hope you guys can see it fairly well. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's a really, really fun quilt, and it's made with fat quarters. So if you're interested in that quilt, Marsha Owens is the designer of the quilt, and she is Cotton Street Commons is the name of her business, and that's where you can find the Hyde Park quilt pattern if you're interested in making it when we're done today. So I would like to turn us over to Richele. So Richele, I am going to stop the video on me, and I'm going to turn it over to you. So I would like to welcome Richele. Richele, I believe you're spotlighted right now. And
hi,
I'd like
everybody.
to welcome you. So thank you for joining us this week. We're really excited to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
We're thrilled to have you here today. So we're hoping that you can tell us a little bit about yourself and how you get started with Tim, and give us a little bit of information about your journey, because I know you've had a wonderful experience working with him.
Yeah, so I met Tim in 2004, and I was working at a rubber stamp shop, and he came to teach there. And when he came to the store, I was just really taken by how just a normal guy he was, and how talented he was, and how willing he was to share what he knew. And this was all in the paper crafting industry, which you can see a lot of his inks and things behind me. So when he told me in 2013 that he was coming out with fabric, I was ecstatic because I love fabric. I started sewing. Like my first recollection of sewing was when I was about 4 years old. And I remember making this little hot pink ice skating outfit, and I sat on my mom's lap, and I think that I just helped her push the button to make the sewing machine go. But I was so excited. In my eyes, I was making that.
That's right. That's right. Even if it was just the reverse stitch, you were still sewing, right?
That's right. And then I took some sewing classes. I took sewing classes in 4-H. I remember this red poncho out of polyester fabric.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. And then taking a home ec class in junior high a long time ago. I remember making this light blue A-line skirt, and the teacher made me rip out the zipper like 3 times, and I really disliked her, but I think that in the long run it made me a better sewer, like do a good job kind of a thing.
Exactly. I feel like if you can
So
do a zipper, you can sew, you know, like,
definitely.
I mean, if you can put a zipper in, you know how to sew.
Yeah, and a lot of people are so scared of zippers, but really it's just straight sewing. You just have to know how to position it to get
Exactly.
it to go in right. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. And then
So,
when I was married in 1980, I was 19, and a girlfriend and I decided to open a little quilt shop. Not a quilt shop, but like quilting for people, and we made tops and then we tied them together. And our little business was called Custom Country Quilts, which I'm not country at all, but
well, we all start somewhere, right?
that's right. And then, sewing has always been that thing that speaks to my soul, that I love to do, that just sort of calms me and brings me back to center.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree.
So yeah, I love it.
Mm-hmm. So, Richele, so I know that you started with Tim in paper, because when Tim started, starts his business, it's all in the paper industry. Are there any things about that you could share with us?
Sure. Well, so I met him in 2004, like I said, and then probably a few years later, he started asking me to do samples for, his product debut at Creativations, or CHA back then. And I'd like to show you a project with the abandoned fabric, not fabric, the abandoned paper. So this is all the abandoned paper here on the sides.
Mm-hmm.
And so and originally when the abandoned paper came out, it was in the Halloween line.
Uh-huh.
So this was my first project with that paper line.
Oh, I forgot to mention, and I apologize, that Ashley, Michelle's daughter, is using the camera today. So thank you, Ashley. Is there a way that you could get a little bit closer to what Richele's showing us right now? Or Richele, yeah, perfect. Because I think it's really great. Richele, when you showed me that the other day, and when I went to see that's a book that.
It's an old vintage book.
Right.
And
So
I folded the pages and whoops, and I cut out the center so this little box could fit in.
Right. So that's very cool. So you take an old book and you just folded down all those pages, and then you created that it looks like a movie set there in the center. She cast a wicked spell. And that's very cool. And then you set that in there. So the background papers on the left and the right, you're saying, were Tim's abandoned paperwork line.
Right.
Correct?
Mm-hmm, that's correct.
Yes. And so now Tim's artwork goes from paper to fabric. So I think
so
see.
You can see on the table, here is the paper line.
Yes.
And all the fun designs. And then here it is in fabric. You can see this paper right here is this fabric, and it's just been redesigned to fit on the fabric.
Yeah, look how beautiful that is. I think what I love most, Richele, what do you see as the biggest difference in his abandoned collection versus some of the other collections he's done?
Oh, the colors are so vibrant. They're just beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when he started out, he came out with Eclectic Elements, and Eclectic Elements was all those vintage images that we love from days gone by.
Yes. And I forgot the name of that one that you just showed. I think, is it Portland Street, Patina? I think that's what it is. Portland Street, I think is the name of that fabric.
This is Urban Grunge.
Oh, I'm calling out the wrong one.
That's okay.
Yes, okay, I see it. Yep. It's similar to the other one that I just
So
said.
this is Portland Street, this one right
Okay,
here. It's
okay.
really pretty. I love those colors.
Yes. So it's so neat to see all of that on paper. And now here at Free Spirit, our design team has created all of that paper and brought it back to all those paper designs and put it onto fabric. So you can see that stack of fabric sitting right next to the paper there. And it's just beautiful. I mean, the hand of the fabric, the color of the fabric, the designs of the fabric, just gorgeous, gorgeous color. And all of these colors, as you can see from, what Richele's showing us, as well as the quilt behind me that I showed initially, and we'll show it again, you can see how they cross back to the foundations line that Tim has with us as well. So, we're going to a new place.
So this is the sewing side of my craft room.
So, Richele, before you tell us this, so the other side was your paper side, correct?
That's my paper crafting side, correct.
And it's so neat, which I admire. And I love now that we're seeing your sewing side, which I have to admit is very neat and tidy. It's very cool. Look at all the stuff you have in there.
I told you I cleaned up for just for this.
Yes, yes, I know. I think I need to do one at my house so I can get my room clean. So can we see some of those bolts down there on the floor?
Yeah,
Like just So these are a lot of Tim's foundation SKUs. So a lot of these are the SKUs that we can order back into at Free Spirit. I can't find my catalog right now. Love that one. That's one of a very popular newspaper print or dictionary.
That's not in foundations. There's the
Oh yeah, there's the
Expedition.
Expedition. Yeah, that's a very popular one as well. We all love that one.
The little tickets.
We have people joining us from all over, Richele. We have people
from welcome everybody.
Yeah, from Texas, Michigan, Alabama, California, Michigan, Texas, Colorado, Africa. Wow, South Africa's watching us. Detroit.
Thank you.
I know, Massachusetts. We have people from all over. So I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to let you know while you were showing all of those that people are joining us from all over the place. So look at all those fabrics that Tim has already designed with us. Those are really fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know how many SKUs there are, but there's a lot of bolts of fabric from him.
So if we need different designs, get in touch with you, Richele.
Right. So here's kind of a hybrid project that I made, and it has fabric in the background. This is from the memoranda line, and then I added my paper things on top of it.
That looks beautiful. That's very creative.
Thank you.
So where the fabric is just in the background, the fabric is the base for this project?
The background, yes.
And then
a lot of it gets covered up, but I've added a little bit of stitching and.
Wow, that's really beautiful. Could any of those flowers there that you have on there, could that be created, would you say, with fabric if you used maybe a stabilizer or something in the background?
I'm sure that could happen. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. Well, how long ago did you make that piece?
Earlier this year.
Oh, so that's a relatively new piece.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really beautiful. So it's a way, it's a perfect example of showing Tim's fabric and with paper. So that's beautiful.
Yeah, these are kind of like my favorites that I've designed throughout the years. So this was probably the third quilt market. And I made this really great travel bag. I use this to this day. It's got a nice little handle on it.
That's beautiful.
And I thank you. And I do believe that this is why Tim at one point came up with zippers and hardware, was because of this bag.
Because of your bag? What's the name? Is it the Expedition bag, or what's the title of the bag?
It doesn't have a title. I just made it.
Oh, okay. Do you have
I
that?
don't,
If people are interested, could they go to your blog and find the pattern for that?
no, I never wrote a pattern for it, which I don't do anymore. I usually, I use a lot of Noodle Head patterns and Emily Dennis. Like I've made a couple of quilts from her patterns. So
Hmm. Well, I know also that's beautiful, and I love how you a lot of that's all patched together, right? From a lot of his,
yeah,
yep.
and then
And
quilted.
right. And in terms of if somebody wanted to make a bag, I mean, like you suggested, they could use any of the pattern makers that you just said, or, like By Annie has patterns as well, where you could go to
Oh,
her.
yeah, I think that By Annie has something very similar. It's a duffel bag.
Right. Right. It's
So
great. I love it. You did a beautiful job.
yeah. And then I have a couple little bags here that I've created with the little metal clasp on top
Oh, look at those. Those are awesome. And you did a
with a
little,
little bit of red stitching. And here I added some embroidery and vintage buttons and lace on it.
wow, that's really fun. So, Richele, when you do that embroidery, do you do all of that work ahead of time, or do you actually make the bag and then embellish it?
I usually cut the piece out for the bag, and then
Mhm.
while it's flat, I do all the embroidery work before it's sewn together.
Gotcha. I
Much
figured as
easier.
much. Yeah, I figured as much, but I had to ask. I didn't know if there were certain aspects of it that you wait and embellish at the end or not.
Yeah,
Those are beautiful. Very nice.
thank
So fun to
you.
see Tim's fabric like that.
Here's another early project. It's just torn pieces, trying to get the crafting people into using more of his fabric.
Uh-huh.
So all the background is his fabric.
Yes. Wow, that looks great. Very
It's
vintage.
just simple, but some of those crafters can be, a little gun shy when it comes to using fabric. So this is another hybrid project where I've incorporated the background as fabric, and I've covered a little book and made a little journal. There's some pockets in here to put things.
Wow. Yeah, that's cool.
So
And
has
so,
little
go ahead.
pages. Just has little pages printed.
Right.
A lot of his paper crafting stuff. His
Right.
inks made the coloring.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
Wow. Oh, look at that. That's really cool.
thank
So
you.
so what did you do? That looks like it's raw edge, and then did you like lay it on top of a larger piece and sew onto it, or?
Correct. So I made the foundation piece for the whole book cover, and then I just tore pieces and then would just sew around them with a straight stitch.
Wow. Yeah, that's great.
I actually taught this in a couple of the scrapbook stores.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can sew straight, you can make this.
Exactly. And even if you sew crooked, you can still make it.
That's right. That's exactly right.
You could even zigzag it if you wanted to, right?
Yeah. This was a colorway called Bridgeway. Um, and this is just a little sewing case that I made.
Oh, look at
Has little
that.
pockets in it.
Uh-huh. That's
It
neat.
was
So,
it was really fun to dig out my old projects and look at them.
yes, I love that. That's that crocodile print that he had, right? That it's trimmed
Yeah,
up in.
I loved this. Yeah.
I did too. I did too. It was a great one.
This is
And
a
people are,
lot of these projects are like Tim would say to me, I've got a mail bag and we should make a courier type bag, and can you add leather to it? So that's how this bag was. So you can see it says actually US mail,
yeah.
domestic. So
So
I
is that a
just,
really heavy canvas then? That must be very heavy.
it's pretty heavy,
Yeah.
and it used to carry mail.
Wow, that's cool. So you took the canvas mail bag and then you added some leather to it. And
Yeah.
wow, look at that. And the
So
inside
it's
of
got a
it,
couple pockets here.
right,
And then inside here is the expedition fabric.
right. That looks awesome.
Got a couple pockets up here.
Right.
I love to travel with this bag. I put my computer and, you know, magazines if I'm going on the plane and what have you.
Yeah, it's a
It's
beautiful
great
bag.
for that. Yeah.
Very nice. I love it.
So this bag right here, I've forgotten the name of it. This is a Noodle Head bag.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first time I did a patchwork using dies from Sizzix.
Mm-hmm.
So the die made these little tiny strips and also the squares that they're sewn to.
Oh,
But
that's
there's
neat.
several layers on those little strips, and then it's just raw edge, and I sewed down the center to make the plus sign basically.
Yep. Wow. That's awesome. I love
It's got
that.
a nice pocket. I like traveling with this bag too, and this has, you know, a nice pocket in it and a
Great.
blanket.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's great. I love that lining fabric too. Do you remember the name of it?
I don't.
I know. I can't remember the names of them all either.
There's
That's
so
great.
many.
I know. Tim has so many collections. I know that's Dapper. I know that navy blue is from his
That
Dapper
is,
collection.
yeah, this is all dapper. It has a leather bottom for durability.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so the whole bag is Dapper.
It is.
Okay. Yeah, I remember the tape measures and that and the cigar boxes and all those great pieces in there. Very
Yeah,
nice.
it's a great line. And then I guess we move into this quilt, which is memoranda and provisions.
Yes. Beautiful quilt.
I sleep under this quilt when it's cold.
Oh, do
It's
you?
just the added layer on my bed.
So, what's the name of this quilt again, Richele?
This is the Plus and Minus quilt by Emily Dennis, and
Mm-hmm.
she has quilty love patterns. I love her patterns. They're very easy to follow. I've made several.
Now, what I love about this quilt is, like you said, you use the memoranda in the background of that quilt, and then you have Tim's provisions as a lot of the pluses in that quilt. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. And so, wow, thank you for getting closer to that. Everyone's loving this quilt. Getting a lot of hearts on this one. So I think it's a great example of how to use, you know, any of Tim's collections with his provisions, because you can see how beautifully they play and work together. Richele, you did a beautiful job on that. And then the
Thank
border's got
you.
the provisions on it.
Yeah.
And what do we have on the back? Do we have anything good on the back?
It's all good.
I mean, I know it's good. That's why I wanted to see it.
Yeah.
So, oh my
It's
gosh.
a really sweet little print.
Yes, that's beautiful.
And you can see the little distressed image in the background that he always adds to his fabric.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fun.
It's a beautiful print by Tim.
I love the memoranda line.
I do too. That looks
It's a
beautiful
favorite.
there.
And then I have a few projects from Yuletide. This is a table runner that I did. And this is on my blog as far as the pattern goes.
So Yuletide was a Christmas line that FreeSpirit released last year in October, and it shipped to stores in June of this past year. So if any of our viewers are interested, you'd have to get in touch with a local quilt shop to see if they still have it. So hopefully they purchased it and hopefully they still have some. If they don't, I wouldn't be surprised because it's so beautiful. But love that.
Really a fun line.
Yeah, I love that, Richele. You did a wonderful job on that. Oh yeah, you got the music notes in the back. That's fantastic. Love that fabric by him. Could you show us the front again one more time? Yeah, look how pretty. You can see all of those different designs in there. We've got the trees, we've got the words, we've got the snowflakes, the holly. Love the plaid. Geometrics, more holly and words. And we got that one in there that has a little metallic in it. We've got the house and the one that looks like a candy cane. I mean, all of those prints are really beautiful. So pretty, Richele. You did a nice job on that. Now, will you have that on your table for Christmas this year?
I will definitely.
That'll
It'll be
very
beautiful on that wood table with my white dishes.
Yes, it will. Very nice.
Okay, and then I also made this pillow. This is paper piecing.
Wow.
Hadn't done that in a really long time, but Amy Friend is the pattern maker.
Mm-hmm. That's
was
really
very
pretty.
easy.
Yep. What'd you put on the back? I see you got it piped up in that plaid. That's really pretty. Oh, more plaid on the back. Yeah, I love that plaid. Beautiful job on that. Nicely done.
Thank you. And then I don't know if you noticed the chair here.
Wow.
That was a quilt market prop.
Uh-huh.
So I love it here in my studio.
It looks fantastic in your studio. So that's something for viewers to think of in terms of Tim Holtz's fabric as well. You could buy it and you could upholster a chair just like that, or do cushions, do home deck, you know, napkins, table runners, placemats. That's really awesome. Do you remember the name of that print, Richele? That's okay.
It's in the correspondence line, and it's called Royal Mail.
Okay. I didn't mean to give you a test. I apologize.
That's okay. That's okay.
You know.
And then this poof. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Tell us about the poof.
The poof is from some of Tim's original original eclectic elements.
Mm-hmm.
And that reminds me that now the foundations line are basically Tim's favorite fabrics from all of his fabric lines.
Yes, and we have many, many SKUs that are fantastic SKUs to work with. Look at that. That's awesome. So that you would say, are those like 5-inch charms or 10-inch charms?
I believe that was from a charm pack when I made it.
Yeah, so it's simple to sew together and put together. Do you use that a lot, Richele?
I do. Every time I sit here, I put my feet up. I like to sit here because it's at the front window and I can kind of see what's going on. And my craft room before was in a little bedroom, a 10 by 11 bedroom, and it's on the opposite side of the house, and it gets really hot. So I would always have the blinds shut. So I would never have any, I couldn't look outside really. So it's nice being here in this wonderful open area. So this here is a quilt. This is also by Emily Dennis. I can't remember the name of the quilt offhand right now, but it's with the Yuletide.
Yes. So it's so interesting to see the fabric used this way now. So you showed us the table runner, which is beautiful. And now we're seeing the same collection, the Yuletide, used in a quilt here. And that's beautifully done, Richele. You did a wonderful job on that.
Thank you. This is the first quilt that I hadn't used either straight line quilting or the meandering. And it's just a stitch that's on my sewing machine. It's kind of this little wavy, but I love how it turned out.
Yes, it's really beautiful.
This has a foundation fabric on the back of it.
Is that?
I believe this.
Oh, let me see.
I believe this was from Correspondence.
I think you're right. And I'm looking up the name. Yeah, it says, well, no, actually it says Dapper.
Oh, it's Dapper. Okay.
Yeah. Dapper, that's a Dapper SKU, and we have that in our foundations line. So if anyone's interested, that they can order that if they'd like it. I have a note here saying, yeah, that quilt is called Falling Stars. Is that correct?
That's it. That's it.
Falling Stars quilt.
Yeah,
So if
so Emily Dennis, Quilty Love Patterns.
yeah,
And then,
that's great.
oh, I guess I have these two little bags. This little corner right here is kind of I do a lot of photographing here of my projects.
Uh-huh.
So I just have a couple little, just little petal bags. These were from Noodle Head.
Mm-hmm. Oh, those are great. Those zippers
Has
are
a
nice.
tiny bit of stitching in it.
Yeah.
Little heart.
Wow. Love that print. Love that one
Yeah.
too. Those are two of my favorites. So the
I
one is
these.
called Vogue. The smaller one, that print is
This
called
one.
Vogue. Yep. Now, like the top one, I don't have the name of that one.
That's one of my favorites too.
Yeah, that's from Miranda. Am I correct in that?
That's correct.
Love that corner. I love this sneak peek of where you do your photography, Richele.
Yeah. And then I have a couple projects back to abandon, which is shipping to stores near you soon. And these are just little pillow pouches. They have a little expandable on the, super fun to make. I found a free pattern online.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah, love the fabric.
Yeah.
I didn't think in a million years I'd ever use a yellow zipper, but here we go.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks great.
It does. They look great. Hey, Paula Cheney's on here. She's saying hello.
Hi, Paula.
So those are
great. Have this nice big pillow.
Wow. So
and I just sewed 2.5-inch strips together.
Mm-hmm. And that's all from Abandon.
That's correct.
Wow.
Even even the backing is that black fabric. Oh, maybe no, this is Provisions. It's just the black from the Provisions.
Yep. And
I didn't want to give up any of the Abandon to do the backing.
Yes, I get it. You want it to look nice, but you want to keep that fabric. So basically what you did there then is you just put together a bunch of 2.5-inch strips randomly, would you say?
That's correct. It's very random.
Sewed them all together and created a pillow front.
Yes.
Yeah, that looks awesome. I love it. And see how nicely all those fabrics work and play together.
And it looks beautiful on my leather chair. It's like it was made for that leather. Exactly.
It looks perfect there. You're inspiring me to make some for my couch.
Good.
Yes, yes, totally inspirational. Can you tell us a little bit more about those pouches that you just showed us in the Abandon?
Yeah, so they're basically, you have a rectangle and you do a little special folding there after you put the zipper in. And then you just add a little binding to each end. They're super quick to make, super fun.
Yeah, those look great.
So I just searched, I think pillow pouches on Pinterest, and I got a free tutorial that came up.
Mm-hmm. So a little pillow
This
pouch.
One's big enough. Yeah, so this one's big enough to like put pencils and stuff in.
Right.
Or you could put little sewing scissors and little hand sewing in there.
Right. You could use those pouches for anything.
Yeah, totally.
Maybe a cosmetic bag as long as nothing leaked, right?
Correct. Well, you could even make it with a plastic liner if you wanted to.
Right. Right. Yeah, those are great. Such a nice use of the fabric too. So it looks like, let me see, I love the pillow. Love this, Richele Christensen. That's Yvonne Lahares.
Hi, Yvonne. Yeah, she's part of the Dixon scrapbook store. It's all about the scrapbook. I teach at their facility, so.
Oh.
I'm glad they tuned in.
Yes, it looks like they did. So we're getting a lot of hearts and thumbs up, and I'm scanning through to see if there are any questions. If people have any questions you'd like me to ask Richele while we still have her on. Mary Freakerts, sorry, Mary, I'm not saying your name right. I know I'm not, but she says your projects are amazing. So she loves your projects. We all
Thank
love Richele's
you.
projects. Yes, that's right. Look how beautiful that wall looks where you've got everything. So where your daughter has the camera right now is really just such a beautiful shot of everything. You know, all Tim, you know, it's beautiful.
Yeah. This is my inspiration wall. So when I sit at the paper crafting table, this is what I look at. And sometimes I'm so stumped, like, what am I going to create? And so I just look up here and I get inspiration.
Yes, I should do that. That's great. How's everything hung up there? Is that like a line and you have them clipped up?
Yeah, that's an IKEA line, those two lines there. And then these are shelves that my dad and my husband and son made.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow. Yeah, oh yeah, I can see it better now. It's very cool how you have everything hung. It's almost like, are those like postcards, Richele?
they're just cards, greeting cards. They're
Right.
samples that I've made throughout the years, either for Tim or for a blog post. Some
So
of them, like go ahead.
are they primarily out of paper?
Yeah, it's all paper.
Yeah, because what I'm sitting here thinking is I know that many moons ago, the fabric postcards were all the rage. So it's almost like you
Right.
could literally take, you know, a lot of those designs and a lot of Tim's designs and create them into, you know, fabric postcards. Be very cool.
Right. That would be really cool. They're
Yeah,
super fun to make too.
yeah, they are. We used to literally mail them to each other through the mail, and it was really neat. I don't know if we could still do that these days, but we used to.
I don't know.
Yeah. So Andrea Kett says she loves everything Richele makes, so inspiring. We have beautiful. Zandra says beautiful. Such creativity. Thank you for sharing, Richele. That's Linda Bodkins. So yes.
Thank
So
you all so much.
yes,
This,
yes.
this, this is totally out of my comfort zone, but I loved being here today and sharing my love of fabric with you all.
Oh, Richele, you did a great job. Thank you for coming and joining us today.
Thank
So
you.
I'm going to put us both on now so that everybody can see us. So hold on one second. All right. I think they can see both of us now. I'm not sure. Um, oh, somebody's asking what the wall is saying. The wall says creativity, correct?
Yeah, it says the use of imagination or original ideas, especially in the production of an artistic work.
Wow.
Hobby Lobby.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, it's just one of those wall decals from Hobby Lobby.
Yeah. That's
Mm.
neat.
Yeah.
There's a question, do you teach any classes online, Richele?
I do not at this time, but
Okay. All right. So if people are interested in coming to get more information on you, they should come to your blog, The California Art Girl.
that's
Is that
correct.
correct? Okay.
CaliforniaArtGirl.blogspot.com.
Okay.
And you'll see a lot of my postings about these fabric projects too.
In
So
any of
if
the
if
patterns?
you miss, yeah, if you miss the information about like this, it's a plus and minus quilt. I will have all the information on my blog. I did a post on that. I've done a post on the Yuletide projects, that table runner. I
Mhm.
have the pattern on my blog for that.
Okay.
So
All right. So what I'd like to do now, all right, so Lindsay's telling me that if I'm talking, the viewers see me, and if you're talking, the viewers see you. So we're both not up at the same time. So I was hoping we would both be up, but we're not. So just so you know, I guess they only see me because I'm talking right now. But if you're interested in seeing anything like Richele just said, any additional work that she's done, you go to the California Art Girl blog and look up all of the inspiration that Richele has created with Tim Holtz. And there's a lot there to see. So please, take an opportunity and take some time to go take a look at that. If the quilt behind me, this is called the Hyde Park quilt, and it's designed by Marsha Owens from Cotton Street Commons. And I wanted to show one other quilt while we're doing this. This is a quilt that we did a few years ago. It's going to be kind of hard to show. This is called, I hope you can hear me. This is called the Scrap Petal Garden Quilt. I don't know if you can see it. And the reason I wanted to show it is because it's a great example of how you can use, this is a Scrap Petal Garden Quilt. And it's designed by Cabin in the Woods. And we designed this quilt a few years ago using Tim Holtz fabrics in the background. You can see that it works very, very nicely in the background. And we used a cave fabric on top to create the flowers in this quilt. But I'd like to show that you could still use a lot of Tim Holtz foundation SKUs to recreate this quilt using all of Tim's SKUs. Use his background fabrics here, and then you could use his provisions on top to create the petals, or you could even use abandoned fabrics would look really, really nice in this. So if you have these fabrics or want to get these fabrics, we sell these fabrics, and you can go out and recreate this quilt as an additional piece of inspiration for you in trying to create something in Tim Holtz. We have a couple. Richele, do you want to announce what the question is for a giveaway this week?
Yeah, so the question this week is, how many different lines of fabric has Tim created since 2013?
Yes, so I think that that's a very good question, because Richele,
yeah, I had to do some research to figure out the answer.
Right. So for the true Tim Holtz lovers, Richele, ask them one more time.
How many different fabric lines has Tim designed?
Yes. So we'd like to know how many fabric lines, and for the people that are the winners, hold on, sorry, moving my computer around to get these fabrics. So what we're going to do is we have 3 giveaways. There's one here. This is Tim Holtz Abandoned, the line that Richele's shown. So we have a fat quarter pack here of abandoned fabrics. They're just gorgeous. And like I said earlier, these will be shipping to stores this month. So you might want to get out and get those. We have 2 fat quarter bundles that we're going to give away of that. And we have 1 fat quarter bundle of this Yuletide fabric that already shipped to stores, but it really is beautiful. I hope you can see it here. I know it's hard to see when it's in these small pieces, but it's a really gorgeous collection. So we're going to give away a total of 3 fat quarters, 2 from Abandoned and 1 from Yuletide. For the people that know how many lines of fabric Tim Holtz has actually come out with since the year 2013. So Richele, I guess, is there anything else you'd like to share with us today?
I don't think so, but I really appreciate everybody tuning in today. Thank you so much. And thank you, Sharon, for having me.
Oh, Richele, you've been great. Thank you so much for coming on. We thank your daughter, Ashley. And are we going to get to meet Clara at all?
Oh, Clara, come here. Clara, come here. Come say hi to everybody. She's going to come. Come here. This is my granddaughter, Clara.
Oh, hey, Clara. She's adorable.
Just wave. She loves to come over and do art with me.
Oh, she's lucky to have you. Oh, there she goes.
She has a little section of my studio, and she has her own colored pencils and markers, and she loves to make art.
Yes, well, that is totally awesome. So Richele, thank you for sharing this time today with us. We love to see everything that you've created with Tim. You make magic of all you touch, and we appreciate that. And we love the inspiration that you create for us year round. We thank you for that, you for your time today, and just your wonderful talent that you have to, you know, look at these wonderful projects that you've created. They're fantastic. And we thank your daughter, Ashley, and we feel really special that we got to meet Clara as well. We saw 3 generations today, so that's fun. Oh, actually, we didn't see Ashley. Does Ashley want to show us herself? Yes. I don't mean to embarrass you, but it's great. We got to see all of you. So thank you, Ashley. We appreciate you showing, you know, filming your mom today. And thank you to all the viewers. And if you have any questions about Tim Holtz Fabrics, we ask you to tune in to FreeSpiritFabrics.com to come to our website and take a look, or reach out to your local quilt shop and ask them about the fabrics. We have lots of fabrics coming in, Tim. And if you haven't looked at Tim, you should look at Tim. And if you're already a Tim fan, keep looking at Tim because he's got some great lines coming. So we
yes. So in 2021, he has 5 different lines coming out. So stay tuned. So lots of good stuff coming.
Yes. So there's a lot coming in, Tim. So thank you, Richele, and thank you everybody for joining in today. And we will look forward to seeing everybody next week. And we'll be here next Thursday. Oh, I'm just hearing that Tim has joined us. Tim is in. Tim is on. Hi, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
So we're glad that Tim joined us as well. So anyways, thank you, Richele. We really psyched to have you. Tim, we're glad that you joined us. You make great fabrics and designs and we love it, and keep doing it. We love you for it. And let's keep on creating. So thank you to everybody. And we will see you next Thursday to see how Free Spirit has inspired you. Thanks, Richele.
All right. Thank you.
All right, bye everybody.
Bye.